Let's solve the equation negative 5z squared equals negative 6z. Okay, so here we have a term on the left and a term on the right. Remember, typically we want to put all of our terms with variables on the same side, right? Also, another thing to watch here is that that's z squared, so this is a type of quadratic. And usually our best strategy is to have all of our terms on one side and the whole quadratic expression set equal to 0. Okay, so I need to get everything on the same side. All right, I'm going to add 6z to both sides, so that way I have a 0 on the right side. So I'm going to add 6z here. I'm going to add 6z here. Now keep in mind, yes, those will cancel and will give me a 0 on the right. But negative 5z squared plus 6z, those are not like terms. Z squared and z are not like terms, so I cannot put those together. The best I can do is just bring them both down. Negative 5z squared plus 6z. Okay, so now I need to try to factor this expression, the expression on the left, so that I can use the zero product property to solve it the rest of the way. All right, well, I have 5 and 6, and neither one of those have an integer in common, right? So we're not going to have a common factor there. But z squared and z, they both have at least one z. So I'll take a z out. I will factor a z out. And since this is a negative in the front here, the first digit is negative, I'm going to take out a negative z. Just a good practice to have. Okay, so if I factor out a negative z, again, I'm dividing it by negative z, dividing out negative z. Negative 5 over negative 1 is positive 5, and z squared over z is just z. I forgot the 5 there. 5z. Okay, and then if I divide out a negative z from here, the z's would cancel. I'm left with 6 over negative 1, which would be negative 6. Okay, so now we have factored the left expression. Negative z times 5z minus 6. Now the product of these two factors is 0, so I can set each factor equal to 0 and solve them individually. Negative z equals 0. We understand that's a negative 1 in front of that z, so we're going to divide both sides by negative 1. Those will divide each other out and give me z equals 0. For the other equation, I'm going to eliminate the constant term by adding 6 to both sides. I'm left with 5z equals 0 plus 6 is 6. I will divide both sides by 5. And I am left with, the 5's divide out, I'm left with z equals 6/5. So I have two solutions, 0 and 6/5.